Hey, welcome back to CA Power Players Podcast. I got my buddy David Duford back in Springfield, Missouri, back in the studio, and we're hanging out. Welcome back again, sir.
Greetings and salutations.
Dude, appreciate you being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
it's always a good time.
It's a blast, man. We had a ton of fun on the last interview.
We did.
That you gave a ton of information away about presentation and a mock presentation. He gave away a bunch of details. You haven't seen that video, go check that out. That was a few months back, but phenomenal, okay? For this video, we want to talk about how new insurance agents can guarantee success right away.
Yes, very important, because how many agents fail out of the first year?
92%, man.
At least, probably more.
Probably more.
You don't want to be a statistic, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to talk about some things that I think will help minimize the possibility of failure.
Yes.
And it's really important that you listen to this, because this business is fantastic. Cody knows it. I know it personally. And you really want to give yourself all the odds in your favor to be successful. Yeah,
and there's so many people that, man, that they're always like, you know, what should I do? And a lot of our new tips videos always do the web best, or you know, there's I don't even know how many like new life licensed agents are just coming into the space every month, you know, but every year too. But it's a lot, man. It's a ton. And so we've got 5 different tips. These are Dave's tips. We're going to walk through these. I completely agree with them, by the way. And I'm excited to share some of these because we want to make sure that you do not fail. And Dave's here to help us make sure that you don't. Okay. So number 1 is slow down, or slow the hell down and figure out what you want.
Yes, it's so important, right? I mean, how do most people get started in this business, Cody? They have a friend that shows them this amazing business opportunity. It's life-changing, never seen anything like it, right?
Crazy rich.
Yep, money flowing from the sky and hot cars and airplanes, and before you know it, you're awash in all of this stuff, but the sleight of hand that you don't see that the magician has, you know, does things that you don't want it to do.
Yes.
So the number one thing everybody should understand here is the hype is real. I mean, this business is awesome.
No doubt.
There's so much opportunity. There's so much money to be made in it if you apply yourself over time. But the thing is a lot of people move so fast that they don't take the time to do their due diligence to make sure the opportunity they're being, you know, presented it to is actually what it is, and is that appropriate for them.
Yeah. Why do we do that? I mean, because it's almost like most people don't just buy the first house they see, but they do sign up with the first insurance company they see in a lot of examples.
Correct. I think part of it is there's a big network marketing mentality in this business. A lot of organizations push you to hire friends and family. And a part of that reason it works so well is because you trust the person that, you know, your friends and family.
Yeah.
You're not questioning them per se, at least the average person doesn't. And so I think you just tend to lead along and follow a lot more when it's coming from somebody you already know, like, and trust.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it's as many people have discovered, you just can't. You have to trust but cut the cards. You have to be excited about what you're being shown, but also look at other opportunities. You know, do your research. Do some things to figure out if what is being said is actually really the case, is real, factual.
Yes. Look on Google, you know.
Google reviews.
Ask people.
Ask people.
Ask Dave. You know.
And ask me, yeah. I'll reply back to your message, yes.
Yeah. You do that really well, by the way.
I do.
I don't know how you keep up with your email.
I don't either. Barely.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, it's just ask around. You know, we like to suggest agents talk to actual producers in an organization.
Yeah.
That you're joining. That's probably the number one thing you can do.
That's a big one.
And just to have a conversation with them and say, hey, what is it like to work there, right?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, if an organization's making these claims, they shouldn't have a problem with you with your request to ask and verify.
100%.
But a lot of them, and this is kind of where it goes eventually, is you start asking them about, hey, who on your team's successful? Can I just talk to them to get a feel for what the culture's like experientially?
Yeah.
They'll push back and they'll tell you you're lazy, or, you know, they'll get mad at you. And that's a red flag. That is pretty much all you need to see. If you're getting that kind of pushback, it's probably not a good fit.
They just want you to sign up as fast as you can, man. You know, and then they're yours, right? And
right.
What's interesting about it is, or you're theirs, I guess. It's interesting too because our business, you can make a mistake and just sign up with somebody really quick, and then they may make you sit out for 6 or 12 months if you want to go somewhere else.
Correct.
when you're signing things or doing things, no matter what somebody's telling you, it's a big decision. I mean, it's a career move.
Right. It is.
I mean, it's more important than buying a house.
It is.
It is. It's big. And I like that you mentioned culture, because I'm in favor of culture over comp all day. Sure, what you make is really important, but if you hate where you're at, like I could pay Dylan $1 million a year, but if the dude hates showing up, he's eventually going to stop showing up. So it's interesting.
Yeah, there's there's different agencies, different styles of doing things. Some organizations are big on recruiting.
Yeah.
Some organizations are big on selling friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Some organizations provide you the leads. Some tell you to buy your own leads. And again, the first opportunity you see is not the last one.
Yeah.
And it may not be the best one. So again, this business is so awesome that you should slow down.
Yes.
Because the consequence to all of this is that you may fail, like most people do. We keep coming back to that. And then you have a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And you think the business is a scam, and you really miss out on a wonderful opportunity, all because you made bad decisions. Very, very important bad decisions.
That's a great one, man. Okay, so slow the hell down and figure out what you want. Okay, number 2, interview with more than one agency, which we kind of started leading into. But what are some of the questions you should be asking?
Yeah, so I would ask, like I said, I wouldn't ask for this right up front, but the definite last question I want to ask is, can I speak to 2 or 3 agents? Can you just email me their emails? Can I talk to them just to get a feel for things?
Yep.
I want to ask questions about, like, for example, how do you find leads or how do you find prospects? Maybe you're in a position where you can't afford leads, so you can't join an organization that requires you to buy leads. You want to find that out now, not after 2 or 3 weeks, and then you're just like wasting your precious time.
Totally.
So you got to ask questions about leads. You're going to want to ask questions about, okay, do I own my book of business? Am I vested from the first day? These are other questions that are important, especially if you're buying your leads, you should own your book of business, the residual streams that come from that. That's kind of the core questions to me. Will you release is another one. Meaning if it doesn't work out like you say it is, will you allow me to move my affiliations with a carrier the carriers I have to any organization of my choice? It provides you an exit strategy.
That's a big one.
And again, it's not that we're planning to fail here.
No, but I mean, they say in business, plan for divorce.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. Because sometimes things don't go like you want them to.
No.
People change, circumstances change. 100%. And it's
%.
really tough if you find yourself in love with a couple of companies, carriers, and what was promised wasn't delivered, and now you're in a position where you can't use those carriers in that particular business that you're in, and you may be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, for sure. So interview with more than one agency. Okay, number 3, ask for references of agents that work directly for the upline.
Right. So let me clarify this. We've hit this already, but it really bears qualifying here.
Okay.
I think a company, for example, you've got a big organization. Think of any big organization that recruits life insurance agents, right? I don't want to talk to producers or see interviews from agents who are not affiliated with the direct upline I'm joining, because how they were trained and their experience may dramatically be different from the one that you're about to join.
Yes.
So understand, when you hear there is success at certain levels, it's not throughout the entirety of the organization. It's success at those particular, what I would call sub-agencies. So what you want to do as a new agent is, again, not just ask for any old success, but that recruiter and that team you're joining, who have they been directly responsible for and their success for those agents? Talk to those agents, because that's going to, again, verify that this agency actually does what it says, trains agents to be successful.
Yes. And if someone is a good place to be and work, and they do believe in their system, and they've had successes and good feedback, they're going to be okay with you talking to other people. They've got good culture.
Yeah.
I'm okay with talking about people. If I don't really want you to.
That's why that question is so good. I always hit on it so much, as just talking to people, because even if they don't let you, that tells you so much.
Yeah.
If you're that afraid as a manager of what your people might say.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an organization you want to join?
No.
Something's gone wrong.
Correct.
You know? And
Correct.
again, you found that out way early, which is always the goal.
Yep. So ask for references of agents that work directly for the upline. Love that. Number 4, put blinders on and go all in once you've made your decision.
Yes. This, again, one of the things about the insurance business is there are so many opportunities. You and I both know producers who make a lot of money, millions in final expense, Medicare, annuities, ACA, PNC, the sub niches within those sometimes, mortgage protection.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that if you're opportunistic, as most entrepreneurs are just by default, if you're not careful to put away or do away with all the opportunities to allow yourself to focus and get good at your chosen path, you'll start thinking you can be everybody to everything to everybody.
Yeah.
When in fact, you'll never really get that focused, deep learning that makes you an expert, that gives you that extra bump in your capability to be successful. So again, it's funny, you know, I started even 10 years ago. I was told I was going to buy direct mail leads. The only thing I saw was final expense. I didn't have options for telesales or face-to-face. I didn't have like 5 different carriers to go work with or 5 different agencies. I was just told what to do. Here's the script. Learn it. Go to work. And there's a ton of value in that.
Yeah, there is.
And we're in the world now where that's flipped opposite now. I mean, you got 10 different organizations, 10 different scripts, telesales, face-to-face, hybrid. And it all works for some people. Mm-hmm. It's not like one's bad and one's good.
You can buy leads. You can generate your own. You've got automations.
Yes.
You got all these million CRMs. You got,
So you really have to be self-aware of this enough to, and be humble enough to say, hey, entrepreneurs are by default opportunistic. Mm-hmm. So what we have to do is actively say yes to the things that matter the most, but also actively say no to the things that don't.
Yeah.
And it would be maybe over time add more products in later, but to give yourself that time to really go all in and succeed is really important.
Yes. And there's just a lot. I mean, there's just, well, we heard at the retreat yesterday. You know, there's just a lot of. It's easier than ever to be in the life insurance agent, but it's also harder than ever to be a life insurance agent. You know, in different ways. Yeah. So number 4, put blinders on and go all in once you made your decision. I can't agree with that more. Number 5, accept that there's always bad with the good, even after taking these preliminary steps.
Yeah. There's no perfect agency.
No.
There's no perfect upline. There's nothing in life that you're going to get that you get everything that you want.
No perfect agency, no perfect lead, no perfect.
Right. I remember early on, Cody, when I started Final Expense, I really got mad about our leads and their circumstances in their life, and they're just kind of, you know, some of them would just, you know, no-show you and disrespect you, and I'd get very angry about that stuff because I took it personally. When the reality is that's just who you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who some are going to be great, kind, and others aren't. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to, and I would say impossible, to just have the good. That's fantastical thinking, you know. Every business has upsides and downsides to it. And the sooner that you can level with it and accept it, the better.
Yeah.
Accept you're going to get rejected. Accept you're going to hear no. It's okay. That's part of the system. It's not separate from the system. It's always inherently part of it.
Yes.
And I think that's a level of maturity that I had to fail out of the business personally to see. But thankfully, you know, there was silver linings. I was able to see, okay, yeah, I got to grow up and accept I'm going to get punched in the face sometimes, but then sometimes I punch people in the face. You know.
Sure, yeah. So number 5, accept that there's always bad with the good, even after taking these preliminary steps. These are the 5 tips on how new insurance agents can guarantee success right away. Dave, these are awesome. Thank you, brother. If they want to learn more from you, how do they do that?
Yeah, easy. Go to davidduford.com. We are big time in the sales training side of this business. We do one-on-one mentorship with our agents, whether they want to sell final expense face-to-face or telesales. We also train agents to sell Medicare, annuities, and ACA. Again, our emphasis in the business is all on training and development more so than anywhere else. So davidduford.com for more if you'd like to learn more.
I love it. Boom, dude. Appreciate you being back. Thank you for being in the studio once again. Thanks for hanging out with Dave and listening to him. And we'll see you on the next interview.
Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there.
I'm so excited for today's CA Power Player podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins. We got a special guest. He is back on the channel talking about how to sell life insurance from home. Here's what I love about this person. Okay, I'm telling you, this will be one of the best.